Did you hear about the Willy Wonka chocolate factory scam? Yes.
There is no name more
Yes, the person who busted this Willy Wonka chocolate factory scam is a HasanAbi.
synonymous with fraud than Billy McFarland, the guy who sold luxurious music festival tickets and ended up serving people this. Now, every time expectations don't meet reality, everyone talks about it like it's Fire Festival, and people are calling this the new Fire Festival moment, but for kids. It's Willy's Chocolate Experience. It was sold to parents as a wonderful little event to bring your kids to in Glasgow, Scotland. You got an enchanted garden, an imagination lab, the Twilight Tunnel, and even captivating entertainment. Now, you may notice that all of these pictures are AI generated, which might raise some red flags, as it should. A paradise of sweet teats. I don't know exactly what that means, but something tells me they're going to fleece you for all the money you have. Pretty quickly, that's exactly what happened when parents paid their hard-earned money to get this expectation and this reality. Basically an empty warehouse that they put a few little ropes and a little sad poster on the wall that doesn't even fit. And yes, I know this topic has sort of been beaten to death. In fact, I'm one of the last ones to it, which just shames me as the man in the void, because as we will find out, our supervillain might as well be in this story. So the fact I didn't see this, earlier, the fact none of you guys sent it, I feel like we're losing our edge here a little bit. But I do have an update to the story that is interesting because the man behind it got unmasked. And his history of abusing AI to rip people off has actually come to light in an interesting way. But going back to the story, people were sold this dream, they paid money, and of course they were met with severe disappointment. There's not much of a theme to it besides like looking up whimsical on Temu or something. And the whole thing just has this empty, sad look to it. And you might think that's because there's not enough actors here filling the space. But actually, if you look at when the actors do show up, it gets even worse. Now, this thing says, Willy.
What is this? CoffeeZilla is a big compromise due to KSI shooting back. Wait, why? What did KSI do? I don't know what happened with CoffeeZilla versus KSI. I haven't really been keeping up with CoffeeZilla stuff lately. I remember your statement about AI bros not having any creativity, and I cannot think of more of a perfect example. KSI is a scammer who got exposed. KSI stands there seething. He did like a semi-rug pull. Really? Not KSI. No.
Willy Wonka's experience scam had only one Oompa Loompa. And they show this very sad actor who looks like she's doing some kind of a meth science experiment, which I saw a lot of people hating on her. And you have to understand, these people got scammed as much as anybody, maybe more than anyone. These actors, they showed up thinking they were going to, entertain a bunch of kids, and instead they get this. But I do have a bit of beef to pick with all the people.
Is anyone really surprised that KSI is a piece of shit amount? Yes, I am. I feel like he's like one of those content creators overall. Like, sure, he's besties with Logan Paul, but I always thought that he was like at least one of those content creators like that is from the old guard that has maintained like a relatively stable brand that isn't like insane. Wait, actually, I've always known that KSI has been a piece of shit. Honestly, my metric as a content creator myself for who's a piece of shit is probably distorted by the fact that for two reasons. One, because virtually every content creator can be made to be a piece of shit, especially if you've been a content creator for a long enough time. And two, content creators are often ginormous pieces of shit. The first one, obviously, I'm referring to myself. If you ask random, depending on which circles of the internet you ask about me, there will be a sea of information readily available about how much of a demon and a monster I am. So I always take that with a grain of salt. And two, I'm basically comparing him to like Logan Paul and the like, which is why I always feel like it's, like so many YouTubers are like outed as abusers and shit, that like the bar is high to clear.
People calling this the Oompa Loompas, they call it the Willy Wonka experience because actually, if you look at the website, they never say Willy Wonka. Instead, they call it Willy's Chocolate Experience. And as you might imagine, that's because of the copyright implications. And if you look at the actual script, you find out that internally, they weren't calling him Willy Wonka. They just wanted you to think that by calling it Willy's Chocolate Experience. They actually called him Willy McDuff. That's right. They used an AI script generator to not only create the AI art, but also the script behind their whole dumb scheme. Here you can see some obviously AI-generated gibberish where Willie McDuff tells people that he's going to guide them down this spectacular, downright magical garden of enchantment. And then I like this very ambitious audience applauds. But not only is the Willy Wonka character changed, the Oompa Loompas are actually called Wonky Doodles, which I think should have given away how dumb this project was. Wonky Doodle is straight out of the AI garbage pile of possible names. They also have a supervillain called the Unknown. He's a evil chocolate maker within the walls, which already sounds stupid, and it's obvious they did absolutely zero revisions to this script idea. But then you find out that the ultimate climax of this whole story is that
I don't get it. Like, why don't you just use like 10 extra minutes to like work the script? You were supposed to look at my gigantic tweet about this. I did. I even gave you props. I said a HasanAbi head is the one who broke this story. But like, going back to my previous point, like it can't take that long to just like clean it up. I don't get it. Like, I understand guy's an AI scammer, but like, why don't you just like go in there and like fix it a little bit? 10 minutes, man. 10 minutes. You don't have 10 extra minutes to like change the words around a little bit?
That the Unknown's weakness is tidiness. Not sweets, not chocolate. The guy shoots him with an anti-graffiti gobstopper that cleans up his mess like we're trying to teach these kids some valuable lesson of vacuuming your room. It's so unbelievably stupid that you'd be surprised to find out that the way they executed this is even worse than it was written in the AI script, because they really didn't put too much attention to like how they were going to dress this guy up. Instead of having some grand reveal with this anti-graffiti gobstopper or whatever, instead they tell a guy with a little cloak and a mask on, just hide behind a mirror and let that work, which seemed to do nothing except traumatize the kids who were unfortunate enough to be there.
What is that? It's the Unknown.
No.
You can see the kids crying in the background, traumatized from what really should be our supervillain. This guy looks like something straight out of the actual Void. Except, I guess, instead of tidiness, our guy's weakness would be pettiness. Nonetheless, who thought this would be appropriate for a Willy Wonka themed, like, nice...
Do you see the response to you and Asman about streaming being draining? No, because
time with...
Like, what caused mother to come in here and be like, seems like we're no longer talking about genocide. No, Asman defended me. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about XQC probably responding or some shit. I don't fucking know.
With the kids. And that's their Make-A-Wish Willy Wonka right there. A guy who actually went public to say that he like regrets everything. He says this was an absolute mess. The guy even says that he should have been an Oompa Loompa. I mean, I think he means Wonky Doodle, but you know, we'll forgive him for that. But just hearing him describe it, it's clear that maybe he was the biggest person scammed of them all.
The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls. What? What is an evil chocolate maker for a start? Does he make evil chocolate, or is he an evil man who makes chocolate? And what do you mean he lives in the walls?
Yeah, he actually lives behind a mirror. That's what he really does. We actually have this other view of the Willy Wonka experience, an extended cut, the Zack Snyder edition of this horror show.
They're the great unknown. Wonderful. I love your show.
There, I think you can actually see that people thought it's actually like kind of amusing instead of just horrifying. Here you can also just see how empty this place is. I mean, the floors look like they haven't been washed in literally years. Funny enough, if any event ever needed the anti-graffiti gobstopper to clean up the whole mess, it's this one. This place looks absolutely disgusting. And this is probably one of the saddest parts. I mean, obviously, you're going to Willy's Chocolate Experience. The one thing you expect after paying $35, $40 as a parent is probably, you know, chocolate. But instead of giving that, they decide their bright idea was to give each child a single jelly bean and a quarter cup of lemonade. And if you think like that's got to be a joke, you can't even measure out one jelly bean. Like if you're pouring it out, you're going to end up with multiple. No, they had a test tube to make sure that no kid got more than one jelly bean. Look at this.
What the?
Look how sad of a scene this is. You can see that this wonky doodle is probably disappointed in herself as it is. And the disappointments just continue. The chocolate river doesn't move at all. It's way overcrowded. And the actual refreshments, I think some of which you had to buy.
Bro, is there nothing going on in Glasgow that they everybody congregated to this one area, it seems. Oompa Loompa Lady is mother. New mother pics just dropped. Oh no. The company behind this operates in the US as Lighthouse Immersive, and they do equally interactive shows. What is this? Apologies to anyone who attended my Dune experience. I was let down by suppliers at the last minute, and I'm very sorry.
It looks like they didn't have enough of, like they're running out clearly. They went to Walmart right before this, and there you can see the sad cups of lemonade that each kid got.
Having the scary made-up character is hilarious to me. Willy Wonka and his factory was the scary thing in the original. They should just made the Tunnel of Terror instead. They would have had lines out the door. What did this guy say? Billy Cool, the organizer behind the widely criticized Willy's Chocolate Experience, speaks out. I'm really shocked that the event had fallen short of the expectations of people on paper. My vision of the artistic rendition of a well-known book didn't come to fruition. For that, I am absolutely, truly, and utterly sorry. Bro's vision was not a vision at all. Bro was blind.
I mean, this was truly a breathtaking scam. As I said, really on par with the Fire Festival. I mean, this is basically sums up what the Willy's Chocolate Experience was. And obviously, this set the internet on fire. People were furious. Everyone wanted to know, like, who can we make pay for this? I think they claim that they're going to offer refunds for this. We'll see if they actually pay out. I don't think the actors have been paid a dime yet, and I don't think they will be. So they're probably the big.
I think Fire was definitely worse than this. No one's flying to Glasgow for the Willy Wonka experience in the same way that they flew to like a natural disaster, basically.
Group scammed in all of this. But yeah, the internet did what the internet always does in a situation like this. They found the guy behind it. It's this guy, Billy Cool. He's the guy who runs the company behind it, House of Illuminati Ltd. Now, the most interesting thing about him is just that this is not a one-off. I mean, I guess that was probably obvious, but this guy uses ChatGPT for his entire life story. He claims on his Instagram to be an enigmatic wordsmith, but I think that was also produced by ChatGPT because you can see here is his Amazon writing profile, this enigmatic wordsmith, and all of it is basically AI garbage. You can see that, but it's all 0 stars, 1 star. All of the cover art is clearly AI, and then all the comments also say they're terrible books. Now,
why? Like, there are people dumber than this guy, though, the guy who made all this. It's the people that have bought it. Like, who the would voluntarily buy an AI book?
Now, I'm not going to go too much further into what Reddit found. I mean, they found everything about this guy, his address, his everything. But ultimately, I don't think someone should be harassed over something like this. I mean, especially if they're going to give refunds. It was totally a scam, and the parents have every right to be upset. But if you're just some random person on the internet,
a full refund starting from Monday.
No,
okay, if you do not receive refund,
I'm going to call the police.
If you don't receive refund,
Because you're
I'm going to call the police.
into liquidation, you're no longer a company.
No,
Is that why you don't have pictures up of your stuff?
No.
It's actual photo shuttle stuff can put up. Sorry.
He's like, I'm sorry, I don't have a chat GPT to help me navigate through this conversation.
artificial intelligence to off the journey.
So you're a fake.
No, absolutely.
You're a fake. That's why you don't advertise exactly what the thing is about. That's what I said. There's not enough information about it on Facebook. Nothing. Or on the web.
I didn't.
It's like nothing.
Is that why you hired bouncers? Because you knew we were all going to kick
No,
off?
these guys don't. These guys are like the caretakers of the building. You're like they're the building people. You've got nothing to do with them. And you get it.
So once you...
Yeah.
I'm glad that he didn't cheap out on the security, it seems.
Oh, no, thank you. No, nothing. So it's a scam. You've scammed children.
I've done nothing.
I've done nothing.
These have scammed kids. That's what they've done. It's a total scam.
If you could start using they, because I'm fuck out today with them and I'm on that camera and you're pointing at me and you're a crazy bee.
The bouncer. The bouncer. He gave up. It's like, start using they. Because I'm not with him.
Something I'm not today with.
But you're here, you're part of the venue.
I've been hired off the venue.
No, you have nothing to do with it.
Hired off this venue, you're the company. You're here for the building.
So again, for the
Bro, did he eat all the f***ing candy? Is that why there was no candy left? I had all the candy. No child will have a candy because I had all of them. No more left for the children.
so again, for the purposes of clarity, the
But he's for the company.
He's for the company.
Aye, he's the company, not that woman.
refunds. Thank you for
Right,
your
we need
time.
it right.
Thank you for your time. Do you think you're going to get rid of us? If you looked at the queue along here with people, parents and their children.
Well, we need it right.
No, you're not fucking sorry.
Writing.
Yeah, pal.
Oi.
You're lucky if the cunt's got the cameras in it, because that's fucking right.
Dude, Scottish people are so funny. I wish they were real. Oi! Can you translate, please? I can't because it's like an entirely different language. And if you think the auto caption is going to understand what the they're saying, you're wrong. Okay? You want me to do it? Here, watch.
Enough information about it on Facebook, nothing. Or on the website, nothing.
Is that why you hired dousers? Because you knew we were all going to kick
No,
off?
these guys are like the caretakers of the
AI's not even
building.
trying. Oh, here.
They're the building people. They've got nothing to do with them. And you got
So why she...
Yeah.
No,
No, thank you. No, nothing. So it's a scam. You've scammed children.
I've done nothing.
These have scammed kids. That's what they've done. It's a total scam.
Have you seen Where is Kate thing? What? Tomorrow marks the 60 days since Kate was last seen in public as a public figure funded by taxpayers. Her prolonged absence without any info, video, or photo is mind-boggling, particularly given her past quick returns to the public after giving birth. They don't really care about me. They just hate Megan.
I have become obsessed with the Wonka experience scandal, and I figured out exactly where they rented these props from. It's a company called EPH Creative based in the UK. I remember it because I was looking for props for a music video, and I remember these freaking mushrooms. Right here, you can rent them for £435 on the website. The chocolate bar, that comes in at a reasonable £160. I mean, guys, you can't beat it. You can get this beautiful rainbow archway for a mere £525. And I mean, this factory thing, why not? You could throw a party, like £435. Like the piece de resistance, though, this chocolate bridge thing, that might set you back a pretty penny. But let me tell you what, honestly, somebody should like throw a club night with this stuff, because I would turn up at that. Let me tell you what. Stay tuned for part 2.
Bro, what the what? That's kind of expensive, dude. Brandon's economy has hit Scotland too, it seems. Damn, they probably lost money, to be honest. Nah.
The Scottish accent is famous for being difficult to understand, but the Glaswegian accent can be even more difficult. There are words and phrases in Glasgow that sound a bit like a foreign language even, so I'm on a mission to find some people to help me translate. Okay, so I love the Glaswegian accent, and I was wondering if you could teach me some local phrases.
Well, it's very hard to bring them to mind. This is the thing. It's all right when your eyes are not going and happy as eyes. You understand?
What the fuck was that? What just happened?